So you've gotten yourself an AX3 light drop from Astera, and now you want to start using it. This battery-powered puck is great for uplighting or using as a spot, and because of its size, it's easy to transport and easy to mount so it blends in at any event. So this video is for beginners just starting out with these lights. We're going to begin with the basics of literally just turning the light on. But then we're going to progress through all aspects of your light, as well as features to the app that controls them. Now, at any point you think this is too basic, look in the description below and you will see that there are different chapters. Feel free to skip ahead to the ones that apply just to you. So let's get started by talking about some of the physical features of the light. There are two power buttons, one on the side and one on the back. The front of the light has a ring with notches in it, so you can add different filters or perhaps a dome, and that will change the look of the light. And then there are many mounting options. It comes with a yoke that tilts and adjusts and locks into place. You can remove the yoke and lay it flat on the ground. You can use the included kickstand to adjust it so it tilts up as an uplight. There is a magnet on the back so you can set it flush against something. That's why the power button is on the side as well. You can add a magnet to the yoke. There are threads in the back so you can put eye bolts and suspend it, perhaps above a centerpiece. And then of course you can put it onto a clamp or a stand. So those are the physical features. Now let's get into part one, using the light as a standalone unit, using just the power button. So let's look at how to do that. Pretty simple. To power it on, you hit the power button for 1 to 3 seconds, and out of the box, it'll be red. Now you want to hold the power button down, and it will begin to flash blue. This is blue mode. From here, you can tap the button to cycle through all the colors. There are 13 if you include the 5 different color temperatures of white. Once you settle on a color that you want, you can just hold the power button to lock it in. Now, while it's operating, you can tap on the power button to show the battery level. Green means it's fully charged. Yellow means you have between 75 and 25% left. And red means you have about 30 minutes remaining. Now, when the plug is in the DC socket, it is IP65 rated, which means it can be used outdoors and in the rain. You remove that plug for hardwired operation and for charging. But when you remove that, it is no longer IP65 rated. And then while it's charging, it'll flash green until it is fully charged. Now, if you have a kit of lights, you can charge them directly in the case. But we caution, be careful when placing the lights in the case. If you put them in at the wrong angle or you force them in, there is a chance you could break the charging pin and damage both the light and the charger. And the final thing we want to show you is how to reset your light. If you want to completely go back to the way it was, you just hold the power button past the blue mode. So hold it, continue to hold it, the light will shut off, and when it turns back on, it will be red again. Those are the basics of using this light as a standalone unit. Now let's look at controlling lights with the Astera app and an AX3 with a Bluetooth bridge built in. This part only applies if your AX3 has a built-in Bluetooth bridge. If it does, it will be indicated on the back. If it has that designation, you can use that one light to control your other lights. For this, you will need your AX3s and the latest Astera app downloaded to a phone or tablet. Begin by turning on your lights by holding the power button. Or you can get one of the remotes for more control. When you open the app, you will see that a Bluetooth bridge needs to be added. Tap the notice and you will see these options. Choose the one for adding a Bluetooth bridge light. You will be prompted to put the light in blue mode. This is done by holding down the power button until the light begins to flash blue. When ready, press OK on the app. When the light shows up in the list, tap to bond. It is connected when the Bluetooth symbol appears and the battery percentage appears. Now on the home screen, choose Pair with Lights. and you'll be prompted to put the other lights in blue mode. Again, hold the power button down until they begin to flash blue. When they're all ready, press OK on the app. They are paired when the lights stop flashing blue and turn a solid red. In the app, tap on the list of lights and they will begin to populate. Once all your lights are there, tap the target and choose All Lights. You can now change the color and effects on all these lights. A few things to remember. The device that runs the app should be within 30 feet of a Bluetooth bridge. Any further and it will disconnect. When you come back in range, it may still not respond, and you may have to disconnect and connect again. Even though you can use a light as your Bluetooth bridge, the Art7 Astera box is still the recommended way to use your lights. At this point, you can skip to part 4 to update your lights. Now we're going to see how to control your lights with the Astera app and the Astera transmitter known as the Art7. This is the preferred method for controlling your lights. For this, you will need your AX3s, the Art7, and the latest Astera app downloaded to a phone or tablet. To control lights using the Astera app, you need a Bluetooth bridge. The Art7 has two parts, one for connecting to the app by way of Bluetooth, and the other for sending commands to other Astera lights. Both parts can also receive information from the lights and send it back to the app. Begin by turning on your lights by holding the power button, or you can get one of the remotes for more control. Also, if your lights are inside the charging case, you can use the side button to turn them on. When you open the app, you will see that a Bluetooth bridge needs to be added. Tap that notice, and you will see these options. Choose the one for the Astera box. Power on the Astera box and place it nearby. Back in the app, press OK, and any bridge that is nearby will show up. You will want to choose the one that matches the number on the back of the Art7 Astera box. It will then ask for the pin, which is also noted on the back. Enter the pin and hit pair. It will indicate that it is connected, and you will see the battery level of the Art7. Now on the home screen, choose Pair with Lights, and you will be prompted to put the lights into what is called blue mode. This is done by holding down the power button until the lights begin to flash blue. Back in the app, press OK. The lights are paired when they stop flashing and they turn a solid red. In the app, tap on the list of lights and they will begin to populate in the list. Now tap the target icon and choose All Lights. You can now change the color and effects on all lights. A few things to remember. The device that runs the app should be within 30 feet of the Art7 Astera box. Any further and it will disconnect. When you get closer, it should reconnect, but if it doesn't, you may need to do it manually again. Several factors will affect connecting. In an area with multiple Wi-Fi devices running or other interference, you may run into problems. So avoid any major obstructions to the signal. It is extremely important to update your lights and the Art7. Astera is quick to address any issues with firmware, and updates will happen often. For that reason, you can choose to update your lights automatically. To do this, scroll down to App Settings and make sure TalkBack Plus is on. Then choose Lights Background Update and make sure Auto Update is on. If your lights are up to date, it will list the most current firmware. You can also hit the refresh button in the top right to confirm this. If any lights are out of date, they will update in the background when they are connected. But we always recommend that you update your lights before a job so that nothing can slow you down. Changing the name of the lights. When all your lights are paired, you can identify them by tapping the light bulb icon. This will highlight that light. But because the light's name is usually its serial number, you may want to change it for clarity. You can do this by simply connecting that light and tapping on the name. You can now give it a unique fixture number. From here, you can tap the arrows to select the next light, and you can tap the light bulb to confirm the light that you want to rename. Now, with all the lights clearly numbered, it will be easier to make sets of specific lights. Sets will allow you to send effects to specific lights while the other lights do something else. To demonstrate, select the target icon and tap the plus button in the top right corner. You can experiment with different sets, but I will start with a flow set, which stretches the effect through several lights. Because we numbered the lights for clarity, I will elect to choose the lights from a list. To confirm that I have the right lights, I can tap the light bulb icon to highlight each one. Once I'm satisfied with the order, tap OK. Once created, I can run a test pattern to see if the order is correct. Then choose a target on the page where you want the tile to be placed. Now, instead of selecting all lights, I select the flow that I just created. I am only changing those lights when I pick an effect. The other lights remain in their last setting, independent from the set. Now, if I want to create another set, I go back to the target icon, again tap the plus icon in the top right, and this time I'll make a sync set, which will synchronize effects of several lights. When I choose the lights, I see that the previous lights are in a flow set. Lights can be included in up to 4 different sets, but for now, I'm just going to choose the remaining lights. Once the lights are set, you may have to tap the back arrow in the top left to place it on the page. Now, when the original flow is still running, I deselect it from the screen and select the sync set. Now, when I choose this effect, it will only show up on the remaining lights that I put into that sync set. So I have 2 sets going. Now, select the levels icon. Within these settings, I can also make more detailed adjustments such as speed, I can pause the effect, I can go backwards, and many other options. Now choose the brightness icon. Here I can change the brightness of all the lights or just my sets. So that should get you started on using your AX3 light drops from Astera. Now there are additional accessories that you can add to complement these lights. If you have the kit, 2 filters are included, a diffuser and a flood filter. In addition to that, you can also get a wall wash filter or a dome. And there's an adapter disc for attaching a larger globe. Finally, I encourage you to follow us on Instagram because we put up several videos each week, and often there will be tips on how to use the app to achieve a certain look. For example, there are videos for DJs that will help you create scenes. Scenes can consist of multiple lights displaying multiple colors and effects, and you can save a particular scene, a look to your lights in order to launch it later. If you have any further questions about your AX3 light drop, please feel free to reach out to us, and again, follow us here on YouTube and Instagram to learn more tips and tricks.